I got a new tool. I got a new Borescope. After the untimely death of my old Borescope, I went shopping around and found a new one, and this one's got a couple tricks up its sleeve. Namely, this. And in addition to that neat little hat trick, which is actually going to come in real handy with some of the stuff I use Borescopes for, it also has a camera on the front and on the side, so it can see all over, not just dead ahead. So welcome to the channel and welcome to Workbench Wednesdays, where we come out to the garage and my mess that is my workbench and we talk about tools. So if this is what you're into, hit that subscribe button, because we put these videos out pretty frequently where you can check out kind of new, different, and unique tools that you might find useful in your shop. Now I am going to demonstrate this thing in action, but before we do that, let's just kind of go over what is going on with this thing and show you what makes it kind of cool and different. So this one has a separate screen that clips on and off, and then we've got the handle. The actual scope portion of it is 5 feet long with that flexible articulating head that I showed before, and it's got a camera on the side and on the top as well as lights, so you can light it up in confined spaces. Now the screen itself holds the battery inside the screen. It also holds an SD card so you can record all your footage, and you have the options of recording in 1080 or 720. Now with the entire thing assembled here, you've got your little knob here that controls that, and then everything else is done through the controls on the screen. And this thing is a far cry from my last Borescope. My last Borescope was on or off, and you can control the dimness of the LEDs. That was pretty much it. On this one here, you can actually control here. You hit this button. It's going to give you a view out the side camera. Right now you're looking at the roof of my garage and all my mountain bikes hanging above. You can hit it again, and you can get both angles. And what's really neat with this one is you can actually, this thing will articulate enough that you can turn it completely around and look behind you. What that means is if you're doing something like a cylinder head inspection, you're going into a spark plug hole, you can put it down into the cylinder, spin this thing a full 180 and actually inspect the valves. Now my last one came with little mirrors that you would stick on there, but I was terrified of putting those mirrors on that thing because if it falls off inside a cylinder, you're stuck. You're having to rebuild the whole motor, or at least pull the heads. You have the obvious controls here, like the lights, and you can control the dimness here. And the lights come on and off depending upon which camera you're viewing. So if we switch it back over to front view, the only light that's going to be on is that front light. And if you go to the side mount, it's going to do the side. And if you go to the split view, it's going to light both up. Now this camera does zoom, but the caveat is it's not actually an optical zoom, it's a digital zoom. It's just cropping in the image. So my suggestion would be, other than if you have to zoom in on something during an inspection, don't bother zooming, because the video is croppable if you're going to be looking at all the footage afterwards. The only time I would ever use this is if you actually have to zoom in on something during the actual inspection. Now you can take photos with this by a single click. You took a photo, and then a long hold will record video. Then tapping it again will then stop the video. So it switches between the both by doing a long hold. Now I will show you how to do the setup, because the setup was not super clear in the instructions, but I'll do that at the end of the video. Right now, let me show you this thing in action. Now I had mentioned going into spark plug holes, so we're going to pull a plug out of my Supra here because I actually need to be doing an inspection on the motor. I'm having some issues and I suspect a valve issue. I'm hoping not, and I'm probably not going to solve that in this video, but we are going to pull one of the plugs out. Now something with this camera, I did notice that the actual line is much bigger round than my last Borescope. However, it is still plenty small enough that it'll fit inside a spark plug hole. So let's do that right now. Now something I didn't show before, this thing has a little kickstand there. It'll work a little bit easier on level ground, but it means I can lay it right there, put it on the kickstand, and now I can look at that screen. It'll hold it somewhat steady while I manipulate the camera itself. I'm going to turn on record here, so you can see what I see. We're going to turn on that front-facing light. Got it on right there. And let's head on into this motor and see what we can see in cylinder number 1. So there we are. We are inside the cylinder. We can have a look around. Now let's change our view to the side. And here I can actually see the back of the valve, and a fair amount of crud on the back of that valve. Now let's go in a little bit further. Now we have the split view. So let's go in a little further here. And we can turn this thing. We're going to release the lock here. We can turn the entire thing around inside there, and we can actually have a look around inside the cylinder and see what we're looking at. Now, we're not going to solve the Supra mystery today. I'm going to have to go through every cylinder and check every one of them. And what I'm going to have to do is probably bump the ignition a little bit to get that cylinder to bottom so I can put the borescope in, turn it all the way around, and see up at the back of the valves. But that's something I was not able to do before with my last one. My last one I could go in, if I attached the mirror, which I was refusing to put inside a cylinder at all, the best I would get is a 45. This one I can turn it all the way around and see the top of the cylinder. So that'll be really handy with this car. Now I'm in the backyard, and before I get into this, if you're wondering why it looks like I've got a dog's chew toy on my neck, I've got a dead cat filter on my mic because it is really windy out right now. Don't worry, I love cats. Not a thing, it's just what they're called. But anyway, another thing I have to do a lot of inspections on is my drains. I've got a koi pond and a pool, and I've got drains and lines running everywhere, and the koi pond, both the drains and the feed lines, get clogged all the time. So I actually used this thing the other day to get up to the top of the waterfall. I have a 90-degree bend that I needed to see around and locate a clog, and I found the clog and managed to fix it. But right now, let's go down in one of those drains. We'll look around, I'll kind of show you what that looks like. So for this one, I'm gonna go down inside this drain more as a demonstration. This drain should be pretty darn clean because it's a very new drain. It's only been in here for about a year. The other ones on my pond have been here for 15 years, and those are disgusting, and I don't wanna gross you out. We're gonna do the exact same thing here. Now this drain actually goes in and does an immediate 45 under the concrete. So we're gonna use the articulating head here to make it around that corner, get a good view, and then feed it down the line. So this should be pretty cool to see how well this works here. I haven't actually put these down these particular drains. I do have a worry that there are some rocks in there though, but I guess we'll find out. So we're gonna turn the light on all the way, and I have recording going so you can join in the fun. So we're going down the pipe right now, and let's turn this thing. So actually, I turned it all the way around. We're looking right up, back at me. We're gonna turn it the other way now. So there's a good view right down the line, and you can see that line actually looks very clean, because this is a new line and I haven't had a lot of stuff go down it yet. But let's fish it further down the line. I'm gonna try to go all the way with this thing and see if I can find the rocks I think came in from the other one. Here we are actually continuing. Wow, we've got pretty far down the line now, and we actually might make it to that next intersection. There's definitely some spider webs in there. So here we are at the actual intersection. Yeah, there it is. You can see right down the other way. Now let's see if we can crank the sucker around the other direction. Yep, and right up the other direction. There, it's not too bad, but you can actually see, let me switch cameras here. You can actually see a little bit of that debris that I was talking about, but it's not too bad, and probably stuff I can flush out with a hose. So good to know. I kind of know now what's going on in my drains. Now I mentioned before the untimely death of my old borescope, and I've had a borescope for a long time, and if you don't have a borescope, it's time to go look for a borescope because you wind up finding way more uses than you'd realize once you've got one. But I was rebuilding an old $200 scooter. Now if you want to know why the heck a grown man bought a $200 scooter, I'll have a link to that video and the channel it's on over somewhere or down below. But long story short, I was inspecting the fuel tank, and although that borescope was waterproof, it apparently was not fuel proof. It ate right through the seals and ruined the scope. That's why I went shopping for this one. Now, a couple other things I've used this thing for that I'm not ashamed to admit is I have definitely used this and other borescopes to look underneath couches for car keys. I've used them to look behind my refrigerator, looking for stuff that's fallen behind the refrigerator, and I may have looked up my nose once or twice. I will spare you that footage. But it comes with these little things too. See if we can get it to focus on them. That's a little retrieval hook and a magnet. So if you are kind of going behind something looking for something, like your car keys, you can put one of these on there and hook it and pull it out. So a little extra use. You're not always just looking for tools and inspecting things. Sometimes these are just handy around the house. So now you've got your footage and you want to view it. Let me show you how you do that. Now the screen unclips from the handle. You don't actually have to do it for this, but it makes it a little bit easier. And there's an SD card on the bottom, so you can pop that SD card out and stick it in any computer. Actually, it's a micro SD card. If you don't have an SD card reader, or you're trying to sync this over to a phone or something like that, it also on the bottom has a USB Type-C port. You can plug it right in. You do have to power the screen up, and then it'll show up as a drive, and you can pull your files straight off that way. Now, I did mention at the beginning of the video that at the end of the video, I was going to give you some pointers if you have bought this thing on how to do the setup. And that's because the instructions on this portion weren't super clear. So let's jump back down to it and I'll show you how you get it to set up. It's actually really easy. Now, borescopes are definitely one of those tools where you don't know you need one until you realize you need one, and then you really need one, because no other tool is going to do what a borescope can do. The other thing about borescopes is once you have one, you end up finding a million uses for one. So if a borescope interests you, or if this borescope interests you, I will have a link for it down in the description below. Now, please consider hitting that subscribe button if you like this kind of content, because I put out a lot of DIY videos, tutorial videos, tool reviews on Wednesdays, tech reviews on Tuesdays. We got a lot of cool stuff on this channel, so stick around if you like it. Give this video a great big thumbs up if you got something out of it, and if you have any questions about borescopes, tools in general, or tools that you'd like to see on the channel, leave me a comment down below. And of course, thanks for watching.